Good morning everybody, and welcome to January's number 8 Lifestyle Flower Club. Apologies for the attire, but it is -3 here in the shop. The windows are frozen on the inside as well as on the outside, so lots of layers on to try and keep warm. Hope you're nice and warm and cozy where you are watching this. So this month's bouquet, decided to go, as it's January, we all need a bit of cheering up and a bit of colour. So we've gone with a nice spring mix here. I'll run through all of the flowers that you've got and then show you what I'm going to do with my flowers in terms of arranging them. So this month I'm going to use this gorgeous vintage jug. This is actually one of our sellers. And I just love the pattern on it. It's almost got kind of a bit of an Art Deco feel to it. I think originally it must have been had a lid or something on it, but that's obviously missing. But it's perfect for arranging flowers in. You know me, if I can put flowers in it, I will do. So I'll run you through what you have in your arrangements. So this month, foliage wise, I haven't put too much in because it's all really about the flowers and the colour, but I have included some magnolia leaves, so lovely green glossy leaves, give us a nice bit of structure and a nice glossy green background for our flowers to sit against. So you've got some of those. Just pop those up there out of the way. You have also got some wax flower. So this is quite a regular one that we use, but it's just very good for any type of arrangement. You've got the lovely sort of soft colour with the pinks there. If you rub it and smell, you get an almost a lemon type smell, but it adds a nice bit of structure, but also a nice delicate flower as well, and then nice long stems so you can break them down. We've got some pussy willow here, so again very nice with spring flowers. You can also put them in if you've got some bulb pots, you can put them in there. They help to support the flowers if you've got hyacinths and things like that growing. They just look really effective, so we've got some of those. We have also got some birch twigs here as well. Again, they give some height to spring arrangements because generally spring flowers are quite short stemmed, and some of them can bend a little bit, so it also helps sort of give them a little bit of support. But again, these can be put into bulb arrangements, planters, anything else, and just add a little bit extra to a bouquet. So on to the flowers now. We have got some parrot tulips. So these ones, gorgeous green and white, really nice. I thought I'd put some tulips in that you don't ordinarily see in the shops, just so that you've got something a bit different. And so you've got some of those. Also got some Ronaldo tulips, so they're a very gorgeous deep purple. They're a double tulip, so they will have two lots of sort of quite frilly petals on them once they open. These all came in yesterday, so they're lovely and fresh, but they're quite tight at the moment, so obviously once we get them in the warmth and water, they will soon open up. Also got some hyacinths, so these are called Atlantic Blue, so they'll add a nice lovely pop of colour in with the spring flowers. And also some, we can't have a spring arrangement without some narcissi, can we? So again, rather than just putting in normal daffs, which you can add in of course if you want to, thought I'd just give you something a bit different. So we've got the narcissi, which are a spray with this gorgeous yellow and orange centre. So once you've got all those colours together, they just work really nicely. And And it's just a nice cheery arrangement, and the smell is gorgeous. Obviously you can't smell if you're watching this, but trust me on this one. So to put it together, what I'm going to start with, so I'm going to put them in the jug. I'm going to start with my magnolia leaves. Anything we're popping in, nice sharp 45-degree cut as always. And I'm just going to kind of lay it, rather than kind of pop it upright, I'm just going to lay it to the side because I want it to add some shape and structure to what we're putting in. So this one is obviously quite a big, large one. It's going to be quite heavy if I keep it as it is. So I'm going to trim it down. And I'm just going to take a few of the leaves off because otherwise I think it could look a bit blocky. So I'm just going to sort of thin it out a bit, if you like. And then I'm going to pop it in the opposite way to the first piece. So we're building up a little bit of a structure here that the rest of our flowers will sit in. Again, with this one, just going to strip it back a little bit, give it a nice sharp cut. So we've got a base coming together that we will then add our flowers into a little later. I'm going to now add in some height and texture. So I'm going to come in with the twigs, birch twigs. You may have some in your garden, if you've got trees and bushes in your gardens that are starting to just get some little buds on, you could use those. This time of the year, it's a really good time to kind of forage to get things that you can just add into your arrangements and bulb pots that just really add a nice little bit of sort of sculpture and texture. So I've just popped them in. We're not going in at any kind of formal angles, but just pops them in here. You can see those. So our base structure is coming together nicely. I'm now going to come in with the pussy willows. So some of them are multi-stemmed, some of them are single-stemmed. I'm just going to cut this side one off. I can always put that in a bud vase later. And I'm going to pop this one in between, sort of almost in between our triangle of birch branches. Don't worry if they move about a little bit. I'm going to vary the heights. So that one is quite full. I'll put that over there. This one I'll cut a bit shorter, bring it towards the front. And this one I'll take over that side. Obviously we can tweak as we start adding in, but again, you'll see we've got some nice height in there and some nice structure that we can then add our colour, our pops of colour into. So I've got some spare birch there and some spare pussy willow. Anything you don't use, just pop it to one side because you can always use them afterwards in, as I say, in bud vases and things like that. So I'm now going to come in with the wax flower. Strip anything that's going to fall below your water line because we want to keep the water nice and clean. And I'm going to strip this down. So we've got one stem. We've got two stems in fact, but I can cut that down. It smells lovely, such a lovely lemony smell. So I'd encourage you to kind of take a bit of time with this month's flowers. Just, you know, take 10-15 minutes out of your day just to kind of do your arrangement and you know, just switch off from everything that's going on. Just take a little bit of time out for yourself. I promise you it'll have a real positive effect on your well-being. So I'm just going to pop this one off of the side and that one. Run my hand down just to take off those little bits of green. And again, popped those in at different heights, but you can see it's kind of coming together in a nice structure. So now I'm going to start adding in the flowers. So I'm going to start off with our tulips. So when you buy tulips from the supermarket or from florists, the best thing to do when you get them home is leave them in the wrapping that they're in. Cut the bottom at an angle and just stand them in water and leave them for about an hour, because what that will do, it will rehydrate them and it will keep them standing up straight for longer. Otherwise, when you get them home, if you unwrap them straight away and they're not fully hydrated, they do tend to kind of droop over. So and with tulips as well, they do continue growing when they're in water. So if you are making an arrangement, say a bouquet that's a bit more structured and formal, cut your tulips slightly smaller, because as I say, they will continue to grow, so the height will come up more. So you don't really want a bouquet where you've got kind of everything a similar level and then lots of tulips popping their heads out. So again, 45-degree angle. If your leaves are going to fall below your waterline, take the leaves off, but with mine I'm just going to leave them on and pop them through. So I've just popped them through very informally. This pussy willow will not stay where it is at the moment, so just dotted them through almost in a triangle shape but different heights. That's probably a good rule of thumb really to go by if you are arranging directly into a vase. So we've got another one here. I'm going to bring this one to the front and let it hang over slightly. Just going to take that leaf off. So if you have got a bit of a natural bend in any of your flowers, it's really good to just go with that and work with that rather than trying to kind of force it somewhere it doesn't want to go. So now I'm going to come in, so we've got our Ronaldo tulips in, now coming in with our green parrot tulips. So I'm arranging this so that you've kind of got interest all the way round. So if you're having it on a table or somewhere like that, then you can see it from any angle and you've got interest. If you are popping it, say, on a mantelpiece or a windowsill, just bring things forward a bit more and working a sort of semicircle. You don't really need too much at the back because nobody's going to see it and enjoy it really. So again, I'm just popping through my tulips. You can see it's coming together and we've got that all round view. One of mine's just snapped in half, so I'm going to pop him to one side, and we've got our little pieces of wax flower here, so we're doing a little mini bouquet with that one in a little bud vase. Again, this has got a slight bend on it, so I'm working with that to kind of hang it over the side a bit more. Now coming in with the hyacinths. So depending on the height of your vase, as I say, spring flowers are generally quite short stemmed, so you're better to use a shorter vase with them. Hyacinths, when we buy them in, come in already sort of literally just snipped off the bulb, so they're kind of all in one piece. Now, because my vase is fairly high, I'm going to leave mine as they are, like that. But you can obviously cut them, so I'll show you. Just cut them. If you want to take some of the leaves off, you can do. Sometimes there's a little one hiding in there, look, just in there. So if you take the leaves off, it loosens that a bit and lets that one come through as well. And then just pop that in. So as I say, with this one, I'm going to leave it slightly, actually I'm not, I'm going to cut the bottom off. I'm going to cut it off because it's quite covered. So these, again, these have just come in yesterday, so they're quite tight, so they will grow and obviously open. But I like you to kind of have everything as fresh as it possibly can be so that you get to enjoy them for longer. So now onto our lovely Narciso. Now these are longer length, so if you are doing sort of a couple of separate arrangements, you can put these in a taller vase. But I think kind of with this combination, we need a nice little pop of colour, pop of yellow. So we've got our purples, we've got our whites, we've got our pink. I think we need a nice little splash of colour. So snip them there. There's a few schools of thought with daffodils and as cut flowers. They do give out a bit of a sap underneath. So the recommendation is that you cut them and stand them in a vase or a pot for 24 hours so that the stems can reseal. And then when they're in the water, the sap that they give off doesn't affect the vase life of the rest of your flowers. You can also sear the bottom with a flame, so a little lighter or something like that, which will seal the bottom of the stem, stop the sap coming out. Personally, I haven't really found it makes a huge amount of difference, to be honest. If you've got a nice big vase with plenty of water in it, nice clean vase, flower food, it doesn't really make a lot of difference to the vase life. Daffodils have a fairly short vase life anyway, so I wouldn't get too hung up on you know, searing your stems and things like that. But if you want to, then by all means cut them, pop them in some water for a while, and let the bottom of the stem seal. So I've just placed them again, varying heights, one at the front here and the others round. They smell gorgeous actually. And we have there a nice spring vase arrangement. So obviously the hyacinths are going to grow and flower, the tulips will flower, so everything will fill out in your vase. I don't think that really needs anything else. Maybe another bit of birch over this side, just to balance it a little bit, but other than that, I think we're there. Again, just have a little play if you think things, if you just look that you've got different height going through, things are fairly evenly spread, and enjoy really. So there we go, spring jug arrangement to brighten up these dull January days. So I hope you found that useful. Obviously there's other ways of arranging and tutorials on my Number 8 Lifestyle YouTube page. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and if you are in the Flower Club, obviously we have our own private Facebook group as well. So I look forward to seeing what you come up with, and if you like this vase as much as I do, this jug, it's actually half price at the moment in our vintage sale. So pop me a message, and in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your week, enjoy your flowers and keep warm. And I'll catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye.